I'm responsible for safety in transportation and in the distribution centers, and I was just lucky enough to come into a company that had a good safety culture and just got to carry that forward and improve upon that. So we have about 1,200 trucks, 1,800 trailers. Last year we drove 382 million miles, supplying an average of 6,800 daily deliveries. Our drivers go out and come home every night for the most part. They're not driving from a point A to point B and then going somewhere else. It's always doing a route within inner cities. Our associates in our stores may talk to 500 to 1,000 people in the public a day. A driver out on the road probably has interactions with 5,000 people. A lot of people that they see, and a lot of people see the Kroger brand on the side of those trucks. We had some liability issues with crashes and the word of our driver versus the word of the driver of the other vehicle. So we knew we needed to have something to protect the company and protect our drivers. And that's when I realized that this would be a big behavior modification program to help our drivers become safer and better drivers. Presented the ROI to the leadership and got approval to do test phase in 2 distribution centers in 2 major metropolitan cities. So we did those for 4 months at both sites. About a week after the cameras were in, the drivers pretty much forgot they were there and went about their business. I look at our drivers as brand ambassadors. When they're out on the road, it says Kroger or Smith's, it says their name right on the side of the trailer, big bold letters. And how our drivers interact with those people is how those people view the company.
My coaching role here is to try and make it so our drivers understand their behaviors to be better drivers. I trust you out there with them billboards, but I think overall a lot of them didn't realize what they were doing themselves. And so with some of the drivers, it's like, I'm glad that somebody else is looking out for me, not just, it's gonna be my word against somebody else's. The video shows exactly what happened. Most of our drivers, they were taking bigger risks than what they should have been. And once they see how close they actually are to a car and the other behaviors they do, they actually have tried to improve them. I got drivers that I think have went from high-risk drivers to extremely low-risk drivers in the short time that we've been with DriveCam.
We saw 71% behavior reduction in the use of handheld cell phones, which was a shock to us. We did not realize that many drivers were still using handheld cell phones. Another one that we chose behavior was seatbelts, and we saw an 82 or 83% reduction in the non-seatbelt uses, so more seatbelts were being used. And then the last one was following too close, and we saw a good reduction in following too close, which related to accidents. And we saw a 50% reduction in accidents in the 4 months of our trial period. A thank you is worth 1,000 words sometimes. When we do our coaching and we ask our coaches, when they're doing their coaching with drivers, not to just look at the negatives in all coaching events, also find those positive coaching events.
One of my favorite things to do is actually, I'll go through and I'll find up, what drivers have not had any coachable events. Then I'll look through and see who's not gone 30 days, 60 days, and then I'll print out a recognition award for them. And I'll go up there and I'll tell them, hey, you've done a really good job.
The peace of mind that I got out of the system was that we had changed unsafe behaviors to safe behaviors. Our safety program within all of logistics, both in the distribution centers and in transportation, is behavior-based safety. And if we change those unsafe behaviors to safe behaviors, it leads to accident reductions, it leads to injury reductions. So all you can ask.